Well, and welcome. I'm Adam Cellini. Scott Dennis and Jacqueline Matter have the night off. ABC 7's First Alert weather team is monitoring severe weather that could be heading for our area. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with the latest on that First Alert forecast. Bob?
Yeah, we've been talking about this all week. In fact, last week we knew something was going to be happening late this week, and certainly it has. Snow falling as far south as Atlanta into Jackson, Mississippi. And now we get ready for the severe weather potential for us tonight, especially after midnight. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. You can see we're in a slight chance. We had been in a marginal chance, so this has been increasing throughout the day, and it looks as though there is still a potential for tornadoes too. Now that chance is rather small at 5% right now, but again, I caution you and let you know that back a couple of years ago we had the tornadoes out in Siesta. That was only at 5% as well. And then wind damage, that is at 10% for the potential for wind damage covering the Tampa Bay area all the way over to Orlando, then southward down toward Fort Myers. So it's all there. What's going to happen is this energy is going to work through the Gulf of Mexico as the front moves near, and those two factors coming into play right after midnight and continuing up until about sunrise. So we'll have the chance for showers and thunderstorms that could be rather strong at times. That cold air still well back to the north. They could see an additional inch of snowfall in Atlanta and North Georgia, as well as into central sections of Alabama tonight. But right now, there are no storms around here that are significant. Well to the north, there's a line of intense storms, and down to the south, well south of Fort Myers, there's some activity there. So for the time being, things are fairly quiet here, but that is going to change rather quickly late tonight and tomorrow morning. More on that coming up in a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you very much, Bob. A Sarasota family is trying to find out who is responsible for damaging their son's wagon. To him, it's not just a wagon. ABC 7's Erica Jackson shows us why these four wheels mean much more to the 24-year-old living with autism.
He's always, waving, smiling, saying hi.
24-year-old Jonathan Havens is a local celebrity on Rhodes Avenue and surrounding streets. He is nonverbal, but he communicates through his hard work. When you see him helping neighbors mow their lawn or picking up recyclables, his green wagon won't be far behind.
Always got something in his little cart wagon.
It's just a wagon to me, but it's more of a prized possession for him because that's how he does all of his stuff.
Now Jonathan is worried he won't be able to help his neighbors after 3 people damaged his wagon with a hammer from his toolbox.
How did that make you feel?
Meh.
His mother, Angela, says 3 large men approached Jonathan Thursday afternoon. They didn't touch Jonathan, but ruined the frame and wiring on his wagon.
They started hitting the back of the thing with a hammer.
Jonathan can still pull the wagon around the neighborhood, but it can't hold as many collected recyclables, as the items will fall out. When he's out doing his work, Angela says he doesn't bother anybody. If it were up to her, she'd find the men responsible and make sure they know it is not okay to touch another person's property.
It could have been worse. It could have been him, but I'm thankful that they didn't touch him.
But for Jonathan, the solution is very simple.
Whoa. He wants them to tell him sorry.
The family has not contacted law enforcement, but we spoke to officials with the Sarasota Police Department about the incident. They tell us if the family were to file a police report and police were able to figure out who's responsible for damaging the wagon, those people could potentially be charged with a crime. Reporting in Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you very much, Erica. Well, we're learning new details into what led to the dismissal of a police officer who was hailed as a hero for saving a man during the Pulse nightclub shooting. The mayor announcing that Corporal Omar Delgado is losing his job because he told a woman that he was, quote, emotionally disturbed during a traffic stop. Delgado was told his last day on the job will be December 31st. He contends he was let go because he suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder since the 2016 mass shooting in nearby Orlando. Delgado will receive 42% of his salary and benefits for life. Legislation to expand workers' compensation for first responders is moving forward in Tallahassee this week. A bill that would require workers' comp to cover mental conditions like PTSD passing its first Senate committee unanimously. Currently, PTSD is only fully covered by workers' comp if the mental injury is accompanied by a physical injury that requires medical treatment.
Where we can react with a common sense approach of getting them the therapies and benefits they need in order to lead a normal life, it's our obligation to do so.
The suicide rate among first responders is higher than the general population, and supporters of the proposal hope expanding workers' comp coverage for mental health issues will bring that number down. The legislation has 3 more committee stops in the Senate before it can be voted on by the full chamber during the 2018 session, which will start next month. Now to ABC's exclusive interview with the fiancé of George Papadopoulos, the Trump campaign foreign policy advisor who became the first campaign advisor to plead guilty in the Russia investigation. He is cooperating with prosecutors. Now his fiancé, an Italian citizen, is commenting for the first time about his work on the campaign and why Papadopoulos is working with the special counsel. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
But I think he has been sort of the first domino in the Russian gate.
The fiancé of George Papadopoulos speaking for the first time to ABC News.
And it was very brave because he has been the first one. And he is helping a lot.
Papadopoulos was arrested in July, becoming the first campaign advisor to plead guilty in the Russia investigation and agree to cooperate with the special counsel. The administration quickly distancing themselves. President Trump calling him a young, low-level volunteer, and another former campaign advisor saying this on CNN.
He was the coffee boy.
But Simona Mangiante says Papadopoulos was far from a bit player in the Trump campaign.
No, George is a remarkable young man.
She says at only 28 years old, Papadopoulos set up meetings with leaders all over the world, constantly keeping in touch with high-level campaign officials.
Everything he was doing was with the knowledge of those officials?
As far as I know, absolutely yes. I never took any initiative without the blessing of the campaign.
And you believe that he can demonstrate that?
Absolutely, yes.
You've seen the emails?
Yes.
Court records filed by special counsel Robert Mueller describe how a professor approached Papadopoulos after learning of his role in the Trump campaign. The court filing does not name the professor, but Mangiante says that man is Professor Joseph Mifsud, someone both she and Papadopoulos worked for. The court records describe the professor as someone with substantial connections to Russian government officials who told Papadopoulos he could provide dirt on Hillary Clinton.
I know that he was interested in George because he was working for Trump.
In October, Mifsud acknowledged to the Daily Telegraph that he was indeed the man mentioned in those papers, but he also denied any wrongdoing or that he had any knowledge of dirt on Clinton. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, back here at home, the Venice High School football team is playing for a state championship tomorrow in Orlando. This morning, the players receiving a send-off from the students at Venice Elementary School. The car pickup line was backed with banners, flags, and students cheering on the Indians. Many of the players attended this elementary school, so some of them able to even see some former teachers. Tomorrow's game will be against Bartram Trail High School from the Jacksonville area, and we'll have those highlights right here on ABC 7. Well, a big win for Northport's Pee Wee cheerleaders. The Northport Mustangs making history on Tuesday, being named national champions at ESPN's Wide World of Sports cheer competition. The team has been competing for 21 years, but this is the first time that they were able to bring home gold. The Mustangs will now have a chance to compete in a global competition that will be in 2018. Congratulations, girls. Well, still to come here on your Suncoast News, a new recommendation for diabetes screening when the American Diabetes Association suggests doctors should test children. That's all coming up. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den, custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories, custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Get KBV's 2017 Best Buy Award overall winner, the Chrysler Pacifica, for as little as $24,999. Or be one of the first to drive away in a 2018 Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View. A world-famous singer, songwriter, and performer joins us in our studio. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. It's a repeat performance of our show with Jim Brickman. He sings for us, and we try to sing some traditional Christmas carols with him. Plus, a fun financial look at the most popular holiday songs of all time in Money Matters, wine glass art, and we make lolly cakes in the kitchen. Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific. They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7.
Welcome back. There's a new recommendation for diabetes screenings with what it will mean for our children. Here's ABC News correspondent Arlette Saenz.
Childhood obesity, a problem now threatening a generation. Just last month, a report showing that more than half of today's kids could be obese by age 35. And now another sign of the times. Updated recommendations from the American Diabetes Association telling doctors to consider screening some obese children and adolescents for type 2 diabetes. It's the type of diabetes associated with obesity, and it's linked to heart disease, eye damage, kidney, and skin problems, among other issues. Complications traditionally seen in adults, but now doctors on the lookout for these signs in kids. The sobering reality, but experts saying it need not define these kids' future. The best defense? Prevention with a healthy diet and physical activity. It's never too early to start. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Saenz, ABC News.
All right, now let's take another look at our first alert traffic for that drive home. No major accidents to be on the lookout for, and plenty of green on the map, as you can see, especially right there on the interstate. So if you plan on hopping on sometime this evening, go ahead and get into your car. Things looking smooth. And take it over to Bob. Maybe.
Here we go. All right, here, Adam, I'll tell you what, we have snow falling. This is a little unusual. We have snow on the ground in Atlanta, and we don't in Cleveland, Columbus, or for that matter, on into Chicago. Really, it's dry. There's no snow there at all, which is unusual. But here we have up to 2 inches of snowfall, maybe even 3 in north central sections of Georgia and Alabama tonight, and snow on the ground all the way down south into most of southern Louisiana. Now, it looks as though we're going to see an accumulation of another inch or so as more moisture is streaming in that direction. So a little strange to see this because it's just so early in the season. Typically during mid part of winter, everyone has snow over the Northeast and throughout the Great Lakes, and then occasionally you get some snowfall over the Deep South, but this started a little earlier. Van Wezel webcam showing kind of a cloudy afternoon. Clouds around. The good news is we got a little lull. You know, the traffic report there, we saw not a lot of problems on the interstate system. Well, we're not having a lot of problems with rain either, so that's not going to be a factor. So if you have a plan to go somewhere over the next several hours, it should not be a problem weather-wise. You can see that snow still falling now over North Georgia. The rough weather is still well back to the north and west of us. We do still anticipate it moving on in. We will see some thunderstorms, some of which could produce some severe weather. And there's always a chance for an isolated tornado, especially out ahead of the actual cold front. So right now there's nothing around here. There's some big storms well southwest of Fort Myers and another line well to the north of us into near Gainesville. They're getting quite a bit of heavy rainfall there with some frequent lightning, but no severe weather reports at this point. The evening planner looks like this. Nice all the way through 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock, we'll start to see showers and storms developing, especially over Manatee County, then working their way southward through the early morning hours. And temperatures holding steady right around 74 degrees, 77 right now. And the dew point temperatures at 74. That's going to change around down into the 40s, even some 30s by tomorrow night. The winds are out of the south at 21. Those winds will switch to the northwest, too, once the front moves through. And the pressure pretty low, 29.81 inches. And 81 is the high. 81 the high today at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. 75 is our average. 87 the record set back in 1978. We could use a little bit of rainfall. So far, we're below average for the month at 5/400ths of an inch below average. Well, this is just one model. I stress that because it's not going to be exactly like this is going to be depicted, but it gives you kind of an indication what's going to be happening. So showers and storms will start to develop, say around 11, 12 o'clock. They'll move on through, and then they'll start to thicken up as some energy moves in from the Gulf. And some of this will bring some locally heavy rainfall. Now, there's a chance that one or two of these storms could become severe, like this model is depicting right around 5 o'clock in the morning near Rotunda. But again, it's not necessarily going to be right there. It could be almost anywhere from Manatee County southward down to near Fort Myers. By 7 o'clock, most of the heavy weather should be over for the coastal locations. There could be some in the interior portions of our counties. And then by 11 o'clock, light rain turning breezy, much colder, an occasional sprinkle here and there throughout the afternoon. But it will not be a very warm afternoon as winds will be really picking up out of the northwest. Rainfall forecast. Well, here it is. Get a look at it. Most areas will see at least an inch, it looks like now. That's what we're projecting at this point. Some areas could see a little higher depending upon whether the storms train over that particular region. As far as the future winds go, those winds will really pick up out of the northwest throughout the day. On Saturday, a small craft advisory is in effect, and it looks like we will see that continue all the way till 10 o'clock. For boaters tomorrow, not the best news. Northwest winds at 20 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet. Choppy conditions out there on the waters. Here's the 7-day. Grab your jackets and your sweaters. You're going to need them right through Monday, 65. For a high. Well, last Wednesday I had a chance to go fishing. It was the last day of hurricane season, nice, and the last day of snook season, and it was my birthday. Here's more.
Come and scoop it.
Get a look at this water, crystal clear, and you can see the dark objects moving along the shoreline on Longboat Key. Coach Steve has spotted some snook along the beach here on Longboat Key. He's got his clients and assistant Julie in the house ready to go. Catching snook is both an art and a science. It requires a lot of attention to detail.
Slow movement. See them how they're cruising? It's all about the presentation. Calm, be calm. Set the hook.
I missed this one by hitting it too early.
He's got it. Nice one, man.
Catching the formerly known soap fish can be difficult to say the least.
Snook is a whole different game fish.
Using lizardfish and blue runners we caught, Steve says putting the bait in the right spot is important.
Over them. Over them. You throw into them, they're going to scatter. We don't want that. When you feel the bite, I want you to walk towards the fish so he doesn't feel any resistance.
As his client JJ found out, it can be tough.
Put the rod down and reel, tight pull.
Go, pull it.
But Steve didn't let this one go. He stays with it and shows us how it's done.
Oh, he's got it.
And you can tell by the bend of the rod, it was a big one.
He's got it.
They have to be between 28 and 32 inches to keep. Bringing out the measuring stick to make it official.
Oh, 31.
That's right in slot, man.
Way to go. Hey, Bob. Hey. Happy birthday, Bobby.
And while Steve's clients caught a few others, it was Steve's that made the day. Hey, remember, take a kid fishing, because someday he may take you. Just worked out perfectly, and I got to tell you, we've got some photos we're going to show you. Some mutton snapper he caught off the same area. This is unusual, Adam, in that mutton snapper isn't found around these waters, and it could be due to the fact that our water temperatures are a little unusually warm, or maybe disorientated from Irma. And you can see that was a mutton snapper right there, caught by Bill. They actually did a little story in the newspaper out there on Longboat Key on that. And then the Magic Fishing Adventures, Captain Allen always sending some great photos, and this is a different species, a redfish. And then more charters. He's off ashore a little bit more, catching some nice kingfish. Going to smoke those up. Captain Scott Moore sending in. Brian's mom, happy birthday. I think it was her birthday, 80th, either that or her dad. His dad's, Brian Marcy from Breakwater Charters. Right there. People catching some good fish. That was
and who needs a boat? You say no bad boating weather, but I mean right on
the shore. Yeah, it was nice to see all those snook too.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done. Well, we got entertainment news coming up next. Stick around.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
For Jurassic Park and Jurassic World fans, get ready for the next adventure. Universal Studios releasing the trailer this week for its Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom movie. Directed by Steven Spielberg, the film stars Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard in a reprised roles of Owen and Claire from that 2015 film Jurassic World. Also reprising his role for the first time in 20 years, Jeff Goldblum, who returns as the iconic Dr. Ian Malcolm. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom will be released in June of 2018. And another throwback movie title getting fans excited this week, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, starring The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black, premiering in London on Thursday. It's Robin Williams' 1995 children's classic, Jumanji, rebooted. Williams, who passed away in 2014, starred in the original 1995 movie as Alan Parrish, who is trapped in a board game for 26 years. In Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, we get to see exactly where Parrish was. The film will be released on December 20th. And it'll be up to you to decide whether or not it was worth the extra effort. Well, we'll be right back with some more news coming up at 6 p.m. Stick around.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from
everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.